What is considered financial advice? And what's the best advice you can be taking? What's good advice versus bad advice? That's what we're gonna cover in this video right now. All right, so you probably have had a variety of financial advice coming at you. You've probably been Googling or searching on YouTube right now, trying to figure out where's the best financial advice? Where do I find it? Do I do this? Do I do that? Is it crypto? Is it real estate? Is it stocks? Is it, business and online businesses or whatever it might be? You're probably looking for all kinds of answers. Or maybe you're just starting. Either way, the financial advice you gotta look for is very specific. And I'm gonna give you some key points of what I look for when I look for financial advice and how you can actually use it in your life as well. So be sure to tune in because I'm gonna give you my best tip at the very end. All right, so what's considered legal financial advice? Because anybody can give financial advice. Come on, let's be honest. Yeah, that brother-in-law of yours could be giving you that crypto advice saying, hey, you gotta buy this Dogecoin, it's amazing, right? You know it's bad if even my 14-year-old son's saying, Dad, you should buy that Dogecoin. That's exactly when you should never buy that investment, right? Whenever the whole public's telling you something or that person that didn't even graduate high school is saying, hey, this is where you invest, I probably would question it too. And so what's considered legal financial advice? What's safe financial advice? The truth is there's probably no safe financial advice for that matter, at least not in the traditional financial planning sense, but there is some good financial advice out there that has good merits to it. But the legal financial advice is usually somebody who has a license to tell you to do so. Now, financial advisors are different than financial planners. They're not the same thing. Anybody can be a financial advisor, but not anybody can be a financial planner. Financial planners have specific designations, certain licenses that make them that way. They do long-term planning, where there's a lot of financial advisors that might do short-term money management, budgeting, debt payoff, all that kind of planning as well, maybe credit repair and things like that. There's a lot of people getting that kind of financial advice, which is fine. But remember that financial planning and financial advice are not the same thing. All financial planners are financial advisors, but not all financial advisors are financial planners. So does that mean that financial planner is the best way to go? Not necessarily. Now, first and foremost, you gotta be asking yourself is, what kind of financial advice do I want? Where am I trying to look for this? So if you're looking for like a debt pay down strategy, right? You might be going to someone like a Dave Ramsey. He's got his own method. Now there's a lot of different methods out there. You got the snowball, you got the debt avalanche, right? You got that stuff. You got like one that I created called the cash flow index. Look it up, it's pretty awesome. I actually saved a woman by only a few $1,000s out of her pocket, was able to free up $600 a month, being able to find creative ways to pay off her debt. But things like that, like there's all these different ways to pay off debt. But if that's the case, go find the best ways to pay off debt, which you might find videos on our channel. So like and subscribe to this channel so you can find more on that information as well. Now you might be looking for other things. You might say, no, I'm looking for like retirement planning advice. Okay, good. Maybe you're looking for like other alternative investment advice. We got lots of that on this channel too, right? Alternative investments. Maybe you're looking for advice about crypto. Maybe you are looking for something like that. You're just looking for whatever kind of advice you are in this stage. You might be saying, how do I make an extra $1,000 with no money out of pocket? Or whatever it might be. Or what do I do if I can take $1,000 and make money? Whatever it is, find those people that have also done it themselves. And even better than those that have done it themselves, I like those that have done it themselves and helped others do the same. That's the key. Now, just be aware. There is a lot of advice out there. Everybody has their opinions. And I have an opinion too. Just so you know, I'm not perfect. I can actually have advice that doesn't always work out. Now I've been pretty good so far, but I'm not I'm not flawless. Trust me, because a lot of the lessons I learned, a lot of the wisdom I gained was from doing it the wrong way early on. For example, I was a financial advisor. I was giving financial advice. I found out later on I was really just a salesman in a suit. I was really not paid to give you good advice. I was paid to give you financial products, things like mutual funds, IRAs, things like annuities and whatnot. Those are the things I was offering to people saying, here, this is what you can do. This is the answer, right? Now, the reason it was an answer is because that's what I could offer. So understand that even though I had licenses, where I had my securities licenses, I had insurance licenses, I could do a lot of those things that many financial advisors can do. The truth is that I was still narrowly focused on just insurance and securities, which is like mutual funds. Now, if I got other licenses, I may be able to offer like stocks or maybe options, maybe. Most don't even touch that, but some do. But I could go in that route as well. I could become a certified financial planner. Then I'm a financial planner officially because I got that certification, right? I get a Series 65, which was something I was going to do where I could be more of a money manager and whatnot. There's all kinds of things I could try to do. But at the end of the day, they were just tests. I didn't actually really feel any smarter passing those tests than I was before. I might have learned a few things here or there, I might have picked up, but ultimately more of the education and things I picked up was from real life experience. which is exactly what got me to quit being a financial advisor. And that's what happened. So after 4 years of being a financial advisor, I was already going into like stocks and options. I was doing some things. I was going more in the alternative investment game where I was going away from traditional Wall Street mutual fund investing. And so I started doing other stuff, right? And I started to be open. I even remember going to a real estate seminar and I didn't like it because it ruined everything I was going to teach as a financial advisor. Because if that guy was correct when he talked about real estate, there was no reason to have my money in the stock market other than I can cash it out really quick. That was the only reason. I could just have a savings account do that and then make more money in the real estate and still beat anything that any of those financial advisors were telling me to do at that time. And so I was kind of in the different worlds. Well, I sat down with my dad, and when I realized that my dad couldn't retire even after he was debt-free and stuffing money in his 401k with a match, I knew there was a problem. And even worse so is when my friend questioned me, he says, Chris, how many of your clients are actually financially free? And I thought about, well, they don't worry about money financially free? Well, none. None of them are. Awesome. I didn't expect that answer, Chris. How about this? How many of you guys as financial advisors are financially free, not off the commissions you're earning, but doing these investments? And guys, I'll tell you, I mean, after knowing those guys' lives and even seeing the ones that I thought, I mean, some were multimillionaires, but not because of their investments. They were multimillionaires because of the income they were earning. I remember there's one financial advisor that was earning a couple $1 million a year because he had a big firm and agents that were under him and different types of financial advisors. And so, of course, he was getting overrides and things on those guys, but it wasn't because he was great with investing. In fact, the guy was actually dumber than most financial advisors. He was a good salesperson. He was great at selling the dream, attracting people, getting people to, get more financial advisors to work for him and stuff like that. And then he made money off that. That's where he made his wealth, not from investments. And so when I realized that guys like him and even other guys I knew worked there since the late 1970s, I realized none of them can retire. And guys, you got to understand, why would you take financial advice from somebody who hasn't done it themselves? It's like asking somebody, asking a fat person, hey, how do I lose weight, right? Well, if that person hasn't lost weight for themselves, why would you take their advice? Well, they have their degrees, they got a health degree, and they did this. My doctor, he's great. He's got his MD and everything else. He's been practicing family practice. Oh, I mean, he smokes and he's dying of cancer right now, but I should listen to him. Okay, he might have some knowledge and there could be some good advice in there, but at the end of the day, is there real wisdom behind it? That's what you want to be aware of. That's what you should be scared of when you get financial advice. Everybody has their filters. I did too. By the way, even after I quit being a financial advisor, I went to go do real estate investing, was able to be financially free when I was 28 years old, but then just about 2 years later, I'm back in the hole because the recession hit. I started a brand new business with some partners, and all of a sudden, like I'm going broke. I went from millionaire to upside down millionaire. I was over $1 million in debt and had to dig out of that debt hole, pay off my debt, and then start to save up money again to then invest passively to then get out of the rat race once again, financially independent when I was 39 years old. I mean, that was the end of 2016 there, So it took me some time. I mean, there's people who have been teaching this stuff and they do a great job teaching it. So don't take that away. I mean, there's books out there like Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read that book, read that book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, great book. Cash Flow Quadrant, even better. Those are the kind of things that expands your mind. But at the end of the day, if you want to learn how to do it for yourself, if you want to get those results, don't ask for advice. Ask for counsel. I think of those as two very different things. Advice, anybody can give advice. But counsel only comes from wisdom. Counsel is something that someone says, yes, like I've been there, I've done that, and I'm still doing it right now. I'm still testing it out. This is good. It's like in business. Like if I want to talk to a marketing expert, I don't go for somebody who just got big 10 years ago, but hasn't been able to replicate it since, especially for the people they teach. I look for the nerdy guy that I'm sitting down at dinner with last week, literally in Florida, and he's talking about all these different programs he's using to like test out like ads on Facebook and things like that. He's playing with this. He's like a scientist. He's always experimenting and doing things and creating cool little hacks. I was like, that's the guy I want to know from. That's the guy I want to learn from and be able to take advice from. Same thing with money. Take advice from those people that have actually been doing it themselves and still doing it and still getting results. And even better, focus on those people that actually get other people results. This is why moneyripples.com, our website, right? Feel free to visit that, of course. But on our website, we have people that often will share testimonials. We even have people show up on our Money Ripples podcast, which is another YouTube channel we have here as well. I mean, the people will go on our podcast and they'll say, here's what I've learned, here's what I've been able to do. Now, they won't always share their financial information because one, it's private. Two, the FCC doesn't like us to make any claims. Even if they're true, they don't want you to know about it because they don't want you to think that you'll make the same money even though you're not in the same situation, right? But those people are all getting results. They're all doing the same thing. Some of them are financially independent already. Some of them are on their path. Some of them are maybe 10 years plus away from being financially independent, but they're on their way. They still have passive income coming in right now. It's not like hey, if I save up for another 20, 30 years, then I can retire, then I can get income. It's like, no, I'm getting money right now, like in a matter of months, I'm getting paid out. That to me, I'm more proud of that than I even of my overcome story, right? The fact I was able to overcome the recession, come out of a hole, dig out of that debt hole, and become financially free the second time. That's great. But more important to me is, can it be replicated? Can more people do it? So when you're looking for financial advice out there, look for people that have actually not just done it, but there are people that they train do it too. Who has a good reputation? There are so many online products and programs out there that teach you all this great stuff supposedly, but then like a very small percentage of students actually have success. Why? Because sometimes the person that teaches it isn't successful themselves. Don't believe the real estate person that says, hey, I've bought over $1 billion of real estate, but in truth, they sold $1 billion to other people and then claimed it as themselves. They're telling you half-truths or little lies, little white lies that are really just lies. Don't believe that crap, right? Don't fall for that kind of stuff. And it's hard to tell, I know. But I'll tell you that success leaves clues. There are always clues. And the people that follow those people, if they're getting results, those are the clues you look for. So when I look for advice, with any advice, I look for one, are they doing it themselves? And then two, have they helped others do the same thing? Those are the people I will spend big money to hire. Those are the people I like to invest in. So just know what is considered financial advice. Financial advice is something that's anything that deals with money management, could be planning or whatever it might be. But real financial advice or financial counsel, wisdom, that comes from getting those that actually have experience doing it. Now, like I said already before, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, learn how you can do those things for yourself, go to moneyripples.com. There's lots of free information on there, including subscribe to our email list so that you're in the know. So you know those things coming up and you're able to build that education so you can do it for yourself. Check that out at moneyripples.com now.